Welcome to another episode of Lessons in Love. If you listen and you put to work these vital jewels that I'm giving you, you're definitely going to be not only successful in life, but also in your relationship and financially too. The wisdom I give comes from above. God is the author of life. And with that being said, man, if you put into practice the things that God tells us to do, success is right there in arm's reach for each and every last one of us. So today I give you lesson 2 of Lessons in Love. Now in lesson 1, we talked about love must first begin with God. Love must first begin with God. Now, part 2, it's going to be two ways I have this thing going in part 2. It's meeting the person, or if you're already involved with somebody. But let's just talk about what hurts a lot of relationships. What hurts a lot of relationships is when people move too fast. People who move too fast and don't have the patience to know one another, to understand one another. These things hurt a lot of relationships. Like for instance, the word relationship means to relate, and it takes time to establish a comfortable relationship with somebody. But in this day and age we live in, where everything is so fast, people move and give up things they should have took time to investigate, look into, before giving yourself over to. Like, I'm going to be honest. Let's just say me. I like to use myself as an example. Because of ignorance, because of living a fast life, laying down with multiple different women and things, I found myself actually in bad situations. I hurt myself and I hurt a lot of people. Okay? And because I didn't have discipline and because I wasn't patient, I allowed myself to give myself over to other women, which affected my relationship with the woman who I actually called myself loving and being involved in. Only to find out that the one I called myself loving and being involved in, I didn't even really know her that well, that we even began to bump heads. And this is what's hurting people in this day and age. Not having the time to have the patience to know one another before giving ourselves over to one another. It's crazy how we have sex so quick, just like that, only to find out you regret you even laid with a person. Like, man, I can't believe, man, I laid down with you. Because when you don't take pride in yourself, when you don't have respect for yourself, when you don't know how to love yourself, these are the violations that you do to yourself. These are the violations you do to yourself. As I go back into my life, man, I just be shaking my head at how just shameful I was. As far as like all the people who I gave myself over to. Just reckless. Living a reckless life. When I began to know who I was, when God saved and changed my life and I came to the knowledge of God, then I began to learn how to discipline my body, discipline myself, and bringing my senses under control. I'm actually doing things I once never really knew how to do. Turn things down. I'm turning down pretty women, thick women, women with money. And I'm like, no. When before, I would jump to that. Just so it could be used for me in some selfish type of way. Because now I understand what it means to have love and respect for yourself. And not only that, if you're going to be with a woman, you're going to be with a person, You have to understand, you giving yourself over to somebody else is a violation to that person, whether you know him or not. Whether you know him or not. That's why God said that every man shall have his own wife and every wife shall have her own husband. Just think about this. Even when I was with women who I so-called thought I loved, one thing I could never change, they was already with somebody else. And just think about how we rob one another. Wouldn't you would rather been the only one with the woman that you love? Wouldn't you rather been they first and last? And as a woman, wouldn't she rather you been she being your first? Think about how, because we don't respect ourselves, we don't value and appreciate ourselves, we never take the time out to be patient, that we give ourselves over, but at the same time violate that which we want to be important to us. And I think about that. I love my baby mother. But when I look at her, I know I wasn't the first to kiss her, the first to hug her, the first, you know what I'm saying? The first she gave head to. No, none of that. Somebody else did. Once she got around to me, she had already been with so many different guys. And all of them become ties into your relationship. And I think about that. Like, wow. That's why so many people jealous. Because they know the one who they been with already been with somebody. So when they run across their exes, they be automatically offended. Because they know it's a path between you and that person. So we have to learn how to teach our children, our sons and our daughters to value and respect their bodies and have patience. And get to know a person before you give yourself over to a person who don't appreciate you. And I found myself in those situations. Giving myself over to a woman who I believed in only for me to be tied into her. And she really don't even want to be with me. But now I'm head over heels on her. The same thing for her. Women have given themselves over to me. Now she sprung head over heels on me. I don't even want to be with her though. Because we don't value ourselves, love ourselves, or take the time out to be patient before giving ourselves over to people. You have to be patient to learn, to get to know a person, to understand what they are about. Once you start disciplining yourself to have patience when you meet a person, learn how to date without relation. Learn how to date without relations. Relation is sexual. Learn how to date before having sex with people. Learn how to enjoy a person. Get to know who a person is. And I guarantee you, you're going to find yourself better off, because sometimes people reveal themselves before it even come to that. And that's why you got to be patient. Because if you let patience have, the Bible says, let patience have its perfect work. Perfect work. That means being patient and not rushing into things. Perfection in that situation is revealing itself to give you the wisdom to know to either go further or cut it off. If you have patience, you'll begin to understand, like, oh, he do that. Oh, she do that. Oh, that's how she kick it. Oh, that's how they talk. See, patience would allow you to see things before you give yourself over. And when you have standards and you have lines that you don't cross, having patience will show you if that person worthy of coming closer to you. A person should be worthy of your presence, worthy of your time. So we need to have patience before we give ourselves over to other people. We need to learn these situations. Having the patience. Now, if you already with somebody, you also need patience to come together and come up with a goal and plan of why y'all together. See, this what hurt a lot of people in relationships also. They in relationships, but they not going anywhere. When you are in a relationship with somebody, you are invested in that person. And being invested in that person means y'all should have a goal and a sense of direction to where y'all are going together. What's the purpose of us waking up to one another for when we don't have a direction, a goal we are trying to meet as a couple and family? You need to set goals. And every day you wake, you should come that closer to reaching and accomplishing that goal as a family or a relationship. So you need to have patience to relate to one another, to come up with a plan for your relationship. You don't just wake up to each other every day. No. Wake up with a purpose. Wake up with a plan and a goal. And execute it. And work together. And learn how to relate to one another. Learn how to relate to one another. Be loving, forgiving, have compassion for one another. If you are already together. And fix and work on the relationship so it can be successful. These are values. These are powerful weapons and tools that every person should apply to life. And God should be the center of all things. Because at the end of the day, the things that's fighting against us all in life is spiritual. You are in a spiritual warfare for the sake of your eternal soul. Whether you want to participate or not, it's going on without your permission. God don't need your permission to love you, and the devil don't need your permission to attack you. You are definitely in a fight. And everything you love and everything you have knowledge of knowing is at risk, depending on how you approach your situation. That's why it's important to pray. It's important to know who God is. I can never give y'all these truths and values without giving you that part, which is most important. Which is most important above all things. You can't go wrong with God. And for some reason, we believe in our mind that if we come to God, things ain't going to be better for us. We're not going to have fun. We're not going to have enjoyment. We can't be successful. We can't have money. No, that's a lie. The Bible says in the presence of God is the fullness of joy. The fullness of it. God provides and takes care of everything about you. Not just your little needs, but even the things you don't know about. Have respect for your companion. Have respect for yourself. Value and appreciate your body. Faithfulness has nothing to do with the other person. Your faithfulness has everything to do with the person you are. You're not faithful to that woman because you love her. You're not faithful to that woman because she's faithful to you. You're not faithful to that woman because she take care, look after you, and gonna be there for you. No, you faithful to her because you faithful to yourself. You faithful to her because you love and respect yourself. A woman shouldn't have to tell you how to be a man, just like a man shouldn't have to tell a woman how to be a woman. That's something you should know because you're under the covering of Almighty God who revealed to you your purpose. Your purpose in your very person of who you are and why you are here. Nobody can teach you that but him. Nobody can give you that but him. And this is battle truth. Giving you another lesson in lessons in love. It's not my judgment that's in question. It's yours. Subscribe to Battle Truth 1UF. And I want to thank everybody who was patient and took the time to care about this situation, to look into this, and to listen to me. And I wish y'all well in y'all family, your relationship, and in your life.